Is Jordan Pickford taking the goal kick?
He played out to Maguire there.
That's into Trent Alexander-Arnold, who actually takes someone on.
He's crossed it into Kane here,
Kane has fallen over again.
but it's led to Saka on the right. He's got the ball.
Saka puts the ball in.
And there's Ben Mee arriving at the back post.
Scorpion kick!
Ben Mee has fucking scored.
Ben Mee. You know how in every single intro to the podcast
We
have
joke about Ben Mee.
scoring like an overhead kick or scorpion kick. Ben Mee scored a bicycle kick.
Did it? We are from the future, so
I couldn't believe it. That's why you should listen to us, by the way, because we've just predicted some crazy stuff.
I can't believe it though. Ben Mee of all people, like that is a complete piss take, that intro. And we went with Ben Mee because it's a player that would never score a goal like that, and he's gone and bagged a bikie.
It was actually a very good goal.
Yeah,
It wasn't like one of them like falling. He actually hit it whilst being in the air. It wasn't like those random ones. Like, for example, there's a player called Austin Trusty, who plays for America. He scored a scorpion kick. It was a hit and hope.
Right.
He's a loanee from Arsenal. Everyone was saying, oh my God, he scored a scorpion kick. It was a hit and hope. But this one was a serious bicycle kick.
Yeah, he's got tech. Get him on the plane. Have we got 5 guys knocking about?
5 guys.
Not for the food. Milkshake's kind of gone in my head. I'm like, I could back
12,
that.
25.
I'm not hemmed in by these kind of parameters.
Oh,
already.
fair enough. All right. What milkshake do you want?
Salted caramel, I think.
All right. Yeah, you good? All right, episode 3. Is it episode 3 or episode 4?
It is. It's episode 4.
Well, anyway, it's episode 4. Welcome back to the Bottle Job Podcast. My name is Rimini.
I'm Toby. I've just knocked my mic, but...
That's okay. And this episode, we're going to be covering Group D or Group C?
No, Group C.
I'm always one ahead or one behind. So this is going to be Group C with teams like Argentina, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Group Messi.
Exactly.
basically.
Mexico, Poland as well. But before we get into the show, we have a few parameters that we like to take you through. We have 99 Potential, where we take you through a story of someone going from a kid, an amateur, to a hero at this World Cup.
And we've got 20-second vision where we're going to try and predict the future as best we can.
And we have Avid, the section of the show where we have the most controversial takes. But if we get cancelled for our takes, please forgive us.
Yeah, so Group C, the group with the GOAT. Or is he the GOAT?
No. Let's call it Smith. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to grow up now.
Everyone behind the camera, can you agree that Messi's the GOAT?
Have we got Ronaldo fans in here? No,
No,
We're all
okay.
good. We've got
Okay.
actual football fans.
Yeah, there we
because
go,
I'm glad we're very much on the same page here. Anyone with a pair of eyes can see.
Exactly.
You know, we got one of the best dribblers, the best passers, best guy. I mean, his goals per game's better
Best.
than
He's
Ronaldo.
just the best.
Yeah, I get it, United and Real fans, but
Like
this would confirm it.
exactly.
For the casual, it would confirm
Exactly.
it.
And everyone says like, "Oh my God, Messi needs this World Cup to really cement." No, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
he doesn't. But I kind of want it. This isn't an avid section, but in a way, because I'm so England are actually going to win it,
Yeah.
I actually kind of want them to win it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
him to have that crowning moment.
Yeah,
He
that's
deserves
true.
that.
That's true. Are we fan boys? Absolutely.
Oh, big time.
But speaking of Messi, let's go into Argentina a little bit. Look, I actually watched an Argentina game when they came to Wembley.
Well, the finalissima.
Finalissima. Oh my God, that game was actually one of the best games I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
It was honestly ridiculous. It was like Argentinian fans are just so animated about football. Wembley stands were shaking. It was shaking. That's how
It's a not brand new stadium, but
it
not
was
that
a
old, is it?
new-ish stadium.
Yeah.
The whole stadium was shaking because the Argentina fans were just jumping. There were Boca fans. There were River Plate fans. There were so many fans.
Coexisting.
Everyone
This is what
was
Messi does, brings them together.
There you go. And you know what's crazy? What I love so much about it was the songs they were singing. I had no idea what they were chanting, but
you
I was
just
just
going
singing
on
along.
with it, yeah.
I don't know what they were saying. I do not speak Spanish, but it was a lot of fun. Chat to me. How do you think Argentina are going to do in this World Cup?
Well, they're on some run. I mean, they've got a friendly before they go into the World Cup, and then they've got Saudi Arabia in the first game. If they don't lose either of those 2 games, they've equalled Italy's unbeaten record of 37 games in international football. So they're already on a good run, and that's a good thing to be going into a tournament with, knowing you are tough to beat, and they should smash that record realistically with the group that they've got. Messi is looking the Messi of old. Last year, he had a bit of a settling in period under Poch, wasn't quite at it. This season absolutely is so on it. I mean, 11 goals, 12 assists already this season. I saw yesterday, absolute screamer he scored. It's sort of like, we've been talking about Mbappe, we've been talking about Haaland, who's going to be the best player on? He's went, hang on, I'm not done yet. I'm still about. And he's looking out on absolute fire. So that's a big positive for Argentina. But they look like a good side. They're more solid than the Argentinas of old. The one that he got 2014 World Cup final with. Their defence always seemed like a weak aspect of them, didn't it? But you've got Hezbollah from Man United. I mean, Alessandro Martinez is also known. He looks like a good player, doesn't
Yes, he's looking good. I think like everyone clowned Lissandro Martinez for his height, but this season he's proved otherwise. He's been so good so far for Manchester United. But even him, they got people like Romero. Look, maybe this is my controversial take, but I think Christian Romero is mad overrated.
he? Do you?
Yeah. Like I said that about De Ligt, and people were actually sending me messages. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about football. You are I had people sending me that.
You
but
think you know better than Bayern? Yeah.
no,
That's
but this one I'm so serious about. Cristian Romero is actually one of the most overrated centre backs that I've seen in the past few years in the Premier League.
Wow.
Honestly, the amount of hype that guy got, he is so rash. Honestly,
He's rash, but I think that's kind of what you love about him. Those kind of aggressive centre backs. There's something. It's natural for fans to gravitate towards.
okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Okay, these two players got crazy comparisons last season. Ben White and Cristian Romero. They got
What, as in likeness?
As
or
it,
just,
no, as in
just
like
compare who's
as in
better?
like Arsenal got Ben White. They paid 50 million. Spurs got Romero. They didn't pay that much. They play in a similar way.
Yeah.
But Ben White is just as aggressive as Romero, but you don't notice it because he doesn't go into crazy slide challenges.
Right.
And for a centre back to play in a back three, I don't really rate them as highly as a centre back in a back four. And that's why I just think Romero, he's a nice centre back, but people are calling him the top 3 centre backs in the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't think he'd quite get in that list for me. I do like him though. I
think he's.
think I just like that
nice.
aggressive type.
Yeah, but you had Rudiger.
Yeah, exactly.
And I rate Rudiger higher than Romero.
Oh, Rudiger was a lot better on the ball as well than Romero,
Exactly.
and he knew when to be the aggressor a bit more.
Exactly, and I've seen Romero get skinned far too many times playing in that right centre back channel. But let's go back to what we were talking about. 'Cause I went
Yeah.
on a tangent. I just think Romero, Martinez, it's a good centre back partnership.
Very much so.
You have Otamendi, the experience there. A few fullbacks in Taliafico. You have Montiel. You have Molina from Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
It's a good defence there. Emi
The
Martinez.
keeper. I mean, that's a fascinating story, isn't it? Because it all came about, that famous Thai clip. You know, Mopai injured
You
Leno.
know what?
The
You have a
knock-on-
series on TikTok.
Yeah,
called-
butterfly effect. So it's like the knock-on effects of something that, you know, causes a ripple effect within football. And with Martinez, you know, he was a guy who was at Arsenal, never really played much. I remember he was in that weird 7-5 game with Reading, wasn't he?
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
the day.
Really?
Yeah,
What,
to
today?
this
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
On his day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he wasn't really playing, ends up getting his chance, absolutely thrived under Arteta, goes and wins that FA Cup. He was big in the City game, the Chelsea game, and then he goes to Villa wanting, you know, first team football, has a really good season there, and he gets his first cap for Argentina in June of 2021. His next game for Argentina is in the Copa America, which they go on to win. He was a massive part of that, saving penalties in shootouts. Obviously, he had the famous celebration in front of Yerry Mina, which was absolute classic. That's worth a rewatch. And then Argentina go on to win it. So he helped Messi secure that big trophy for Argentina that they've been searching for since the 90s. And that was all a result of, you know, Leno getting injured by Mopai. So it's pretty crazy.
Mope, you're a disgrace.
Yeah,
What
that
a
was
video
gone,
that
wasn't it?
was. But I
Hope
think
Brighton get relegated.
yeah, oh, what a video. What a video. But yeah, speaking of Argentina as well, for me, the most underrated Argentinian player of this generation has to be Angel Di Maria.
Yeah.
They call him El Fideo, the fiddle. He is so good. I feel that when I was watching him at Fidelissima, everything was going through Angel Di Maria. He could take someone on, he could go in behind, he could dribble, he could pass, he could shoot. In that Champions League final for Real Madrid
That
in 2014,
2014 one.
he really
was the
carried.
man, wasn't he? Yeah.
You could like, when do you see a player so comfortable with both wings and in the center of midfield? You don't. So I just feel that with Angel Di Maria playing for Argentina, probably in his final World Cup because he is 35 years old.
Yeah.
I think Angel Di Maria has a lot to say. The only problem is
Is he fit? Will he be fit? Yeah.
exactly he hasn't played too much for Juventus so far, and Juventus fans have been clowning Angel Di Maria.
I know there's been rumours of him actually going back to Argentina after the World Cup.
Exactly. So, yeah, is Angel Di Maria going to play that much? I'm not sure, but is he one of Argentina's most important players? Absolutely. Lastly, we can speak about someone like Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah, I mean, and even the midfield as well with Argentina. I quite like Rodrigo de Paul. He looks like a different player when he puts on that Argentina shirt, I find, as well. Like, Atletico isn't quite settled to the extent you would think he would.
You know, there's this like myth about Rodrigo de Paul that he only turns up when Messi's getting like pushed by a defender. He will run the length of the pitch, 40 yards to go and
Yeah,
defend Messi.
I like that, though. I do like that about him. It's just, they've got a lot of aggressive players, and look, we've spoke about the intangibles rather,
Yeah.
in football before, and in a World Cup, they can really come to light. And I think Argentina have got a lot of that. And it feels like Messi's almost taken on that final leadership form within the Argentina squad.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And lastly, I mentioned Lautaro Martinez. He's a player that works really well with Argentina because he's someone that likes to pin back the centre backs. He likes to go in behind. He can create chances for Messi as well.
Yeah.
I think Argentina are a force to be reckoned with.
They are, and they actually have one player within the squad that we haven't touched on that is my 99 potential. 99 potential is our version of FIFA Journeys, but, well, good.
The scout section is where we identify young players who've had a rocky road to Qatar, but they will go from kid to GOAT.
So that man is Enzo Fernandez. Now, the first thing you'll notice about him, the name. He passes the name test with flying colours. You can't be walking around with a name like Enzo Fernandez and not be a footballer. It doesn't really make sense, does it?
It could be called, what's a British name, what version of that name?
I don't know, Paul Steve. I don't know there's many Paul Steves knocking about.
Two
but
first
you
names,
can't be playing.
those people are kind of scary.
He could be a centre-back, actually, Paul Steve. He might be.
Yeah.
He might be scoring bicycle kicks like Ben Mee soon.
Fair enough.
But yeah, anyway, Enzo Fernandez is a player who was at River Plate. He's 21 years of age, gone to Benfica this summer. Excuse me. And he just looks like a real player. He looks really good on the ball in terms of how progressive he is. He seems to have a real keen eye for a pass. A lot of the time with midfielders at the moment, I see players that want to play that safe pass. They want to just pass it 5 yards, recycle possession, which is necessary. But this guy, he is a bit more ambitious in terms of trying to break those lines, in terms of trying to create chances. I mean, I saw the other day against Juventus when they played them, he did set up a goal. He set up a goal yesterday as well. So he has got a keen eye for that. He also has a decent shot on sort of the edge of the box, scored a couple from range this season, and he looks like a real player. And obviously, when he was in Argentina for River Plate, he was voted the biggest talent within Argentina at that time. So I think he can make a real name for himself at this World Cup. And, it's some name to make a name with.
Yeah, Enzo Fernandez, watching him so far for Benfica this year, he's like the next hottest thing. He was like Darwin Nunez last year.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's hope not.
I think when I watch Enzo Fernandez, I think he is just so good at what he does. He finds pockets of space. He'll break a line, as you said. He'll dribble past a couple players. I think Enzo Fernandez is going to be one of those players that you really stand up and you think maybe this World Cup is one too soon for him. But I think next season after, he's going to be one of those players that you're like, all right, he's one of the best in the world in this position. I think he's that good.
Yeah.
And I think he could grow to become one of the players that Argentina eventually rely upon.
Well, he's got that kind of knack for, those players that will obviously they're playing a pass and they always make their run so they can get it back and receive and stuff like that. Just lifts a crowd. And I think at a World Cup, the football I watch him play, he's very suited to that. And I think he'll be a real asset for them.
For sure. That leads on to I actually forgot his name. This sounds very bad for a 99 potential, but I want to get his pronunciation perfectly because he does play for Saudi Arabia, the other team in this group. His name is Al Dosari. Now, he is a player that plays for Al Hilal.
Okay.
The biggest team, not just in...
Yeah, they're in the Club World Cup with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Al Hilal is not just the biggest team in like the Gulf, they're the biggest team in the Arab world.
Right.
Al Hilal is like the Real Madrid of the Arab world. This guy, Al Dosari, he is one of the players that you watch him and you're like, this guy is so tricky, he's a winger. I think he's about 31 now. He will take people on for fun. If I was to compare him to a player that you guys could be like, okay, I understand, it will probably be, I don't know. Who's a tricky player in the Premier League?
On the wing.
Yeah. There's not too many of them anymore.
Yeah, we're losing our flair, man. We're losing our flair in the league. Oh, Sterling on his day.
No.
He's just not that guy. I can't.
I'm talking about, let's say Anthony, for example.
Okay, right.
Anthony,
so he's quite an exciting player then.
Exciting player, will take people on, has a rasping shot on him. And he is a player that has, I think the problem is with Saudi so far, they don't have a focal point like they did in the past few years in, I think his name is Al-Jabari and Al-Awrani, who is a player that, I don't know if you saw Saudi's goal, but do you remember, I don't know, this is a classic World Cup goal. He dribbled past like...
Just against Egypt?
No, this was in World Cup 94. He dribbled past like 8 Belgian players and scored like an unbelievable goal. It's one of the folklore of World Cup goals. Saudi in the past, they had an unbelievable team because they used to qualify for the World Cup every year. But this year, it's just, they don't really have a focal point. Al-Dosari, he's going to be that guy that could really take Saudi. He probably won't take Saudi that far, but he's a player that can excite
be
fans.
the difference maker.
Exactly, because they are a defensive team.
Yeah, I saw actually in their qualification, they only got, 9 goals in 10 games, so there's a real struggle for goals there.
Exactly. But when you're playing on the outlet, him and his partner, I think his name is Al-Shahri, he's another player that You know, funny story about Al Shahri. That guy, right? In his career, he has scored 6 goals every single season, apart from the 18-19 season, where he scored 16.
Yeah.
He's one of those like Juan Pablo Angel type of players, one of them players that you really think, okay, you might be good on your day, but when is your day going to come? In the 18-19 season, it was his season. But for him, imagine, he made his debut for Al Hilal, no, for the Saudi national team in 2020 at the age of 26. So it's getting
Yeah,
on a bit. And Saudi don't even have a striker. So this guy has played 18 games for Saudi Arabia, has scored 10 goals. So it's a great record.
He's a good asset for them.
He's a great record. He's one of them poaching strikers that will just find themselves in like the 6-yard box, 6 foot tall, good in the air. I say he's like Chicharito but taller.
Right.
And we're gonna come on to Chicharito later when we speak about Mexico. But yeah, he's one of those players that can really, like, if there's a chance put in front of him, he will score. And like I said with Al Dosari, he's gonna be one of those players that Saudi have to rely upon because their team is so defensive. And something that I've noticed with Saudi is that the country is like the most popular in the Gulf for football. Like everyone loves football in that country. Everyone has a Saudi team and everybody has like a European team.
Yeah.
But what the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has done, he's cleared the debts of every single Saudi team so that those teams can market themselves towards younger people. And what he's done with Al Hilal is that I think they're like you know how every country has like the ruler's team, the team that the king likes, etc.
Right, okay.
I think Al Hilal is going to be that team. So
I was Aston Villa.
yeah,
That's such a random one, isn't it, though?
Doesn't make sense. But yeah, I just feel like Saudi football is going to improve and it's going to grow. But what they don't have is strikers. All their imports every single year, strikers. Igalo,
Yeah.
Bafatimbi Gomis, these types of players that had their career in Europe, but they're going to move to Saudi to get a payday. And the problem is with Saudi football is that, look, if you're an emerging Saudi Arabian player or an Arab player, why would you leave the Gulf region? You're getting paid bucket loads. You're with your family. You're enjoying life. And there's no incentivization for you to move from Saudi Arabia to go
Take
play in
a
Europe.
dramatic wage cut. Yeah,
Exactly. And if you do find a player like that, they're going to be 1 in a million. Because he's not Saudi, but there was an Emirati player called Omar Abdurrahman. And he was a player that had all these flicks and tricks. He was the Neymar of the Arab world.
Right.
In 2012, he played for UAE in the 2012 Olympics. Everyone wanted him. I remember Arsenal were linked to him. He got a knee injury. Everything was not the same anymore. And he stayed in
Like
Saudi.
that kid you meet on the playground.
Exactly. Oh, I would have been something, but
Yeah.
I got a knee injury.
West Ham
Like,
trials.
exactly. But yeah, I just think like in 2018, what they tried to do was they tried to link, because La Liga and Saudi Arabia, they have a partnership.
Yeah, there's rumours of games being hosted there, even a Classico in the future.
The Super Cup is hosted there.
Yeah.
The Spanish Super Cup. They've altered
Yeah,
the
where
format.
Valverde hacked down
Yes,
Morata that game.
yes,
What a tackle that was.
That was in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. And what they tried to do before the 2018 World Cup in Saudi Arabia is they tried to get a few Saudi Arabian players to go play in La Liga to get them prepared for the World Cup. The guy I mentioned,
He was at
Al-Dosari.
Villarreal, wasn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was at Villarreal. He played like 20
I
minutes.
think he played one game. It was against Real, though. That's
Exactly,
quite cool.
against Real Madrid. But yeah, that's what they're trying to do. So if Saudi football was to improve, they need to cut the incentives for them to stay in the league. They need to go try different cultures, different players, different everything.
I suppose a bit like China, where they've kind of got a cap, weird, on their nationalities' wages, but then their imports, their Oscars and your Ramirez's are on stupid amounts.
Exactly. But this leads me on perfectly because one of the players that also played for Al Shabab, which means the youth in Arabic, the top of the currently the NBA Saudi League, is Polish star and defensive midfielder Grzegorz Krakowiak.
West Brom legend.
West Brom legend Grzegorz Krakowiak. My Polish people, I hope
That sounded good, man.
It sounded good,
I would
didn't
have
it?
butchered it. Yeah,
No,
he
it
did
sounded
well.
good. It sounded good. I feel that with him, he's a player that, like, we're moving on to Poland now. That was a beautiful segue. I'm very proud of myself.
Seamless.
Grzegorz Krakowiak partnered up with someone like Piotr Zielinski.
Zielinski, I mean, Napoli this season.
They've been
I think they've been the
unbelievable.
best team to watch in the world. I'm going to put that out there. I think Napoli this season, if you're not watching Napoli this season, get to know.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you've got Kvaradona, obviously. And then that midfield, though, you've got Lobotka and Gisa. This guy at Fulham, I didn't really rate him. He looks class. Everything about his game is
Unbelievable.
perfect. But yeah, Zielinski in that team, you know, I'm going to bring the Excel spreadsheet out here. But this season in the top 5 leagues, he's the only player to have an average of above 4 chances created per 90 minutes.
Wow, what a player. And
Yeah.
I feel like Zielinski as well. He's always linked to a move to Liverpool. I always see that, Liverpool are interested in Peter Zielinski. He actually suits them to a T.
Oh, completely.
They need some
his pass is
creativity.
fantastic.
100%.
But having that creativity is going to be key because you've got one man who's on the end of those chances and you back him to put away most of them, wouldn't you? You've got Robert Lewandowski.
You've got Arcadius Milik. No, I'm joking. It's
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski. We have to speak about
or
that guy.
Piatek a couple of years ago when he had a little spell, didn't he?
Piontek, he was on fire.
AC Milan, he was the guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Genoa as well.
Yeah.
Piontek was that guy, but no, he's washed now. He's at Salernitana, one of the lowly Italian teams. But I think, we have to speak about Robert Lewandowski. Do you think he's the best striker in the world?
Do I think he's... No. I don't think I would go with him. I do really like Rob. I do really like Lewa. I know he's out of form at the moment. He was a bit injured, but Ben's for me like last year. I was just,
He was just on another level.
mate. That's one of the easiest Ballon d'Ors I think in,
Oh,
in,
yeah,
a,
yeah.
in a few years,
It has
isn't
to
it? It has to be like everything he was doing in terms of how he links up the play.
But
his
we have to
finishing.
say, Lewandowski was robbed of the 2020 Ballon.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Those two have been kind of the best couple of strikers in the last few years. People were shouting Kane at us. Yeah, he is up there, but
All right, man. I think it's because we live in England. I think if we left England and we just lived in another country for a few months, I don't think we would hear Harry Kane's name as much.
yeah. Do you?
Like,
I wonder if like the Spanish geezers doing a podcast chatting about Kane right now. Who
No, I
knows?
promise you, they don't chat about Harry Kane at all.
No.
It's always Benzema and Lewandowski. Them two are
Yeah.
the guys. Harry Kane is like another level, like below them. But
So you got Haaland emerging now as well.
exactly, here's a stat for you. Robert Lewandowski had a hand in 13 goals in Poland's qualification to the World Cup because they were also in England's group, if you remember.
Yeah.
They finished second. They were set to play Russia in the
Of course, as all that kicked off, right?
yes, but they couldn't. I think they played Scotland and then they played Ukraine. No, not Ukraine. Was it Sweden? Sorry, they played Sweden in the
Yeah, because it was whether Ibra would get his last World Cup or Lewa would
exactly.
go.
But yeah, Lewandowski is just another level this year. Even
Yeah.
this year for Barcelona,
He got a
even
last minute winner last night, didn't he?
exactly, and he's been doing incredibly well in the Champions League for Barcelona as well. So Lewandowski is going to be that guy. Obviously, Poland, they don't have the team that can really match with like your Brazils, your Argentinas, that kind of stuff. But Lewandowski is a player that, as you said with Piotr Zielinski,
It works well. You got someone who can create and someone who can score. You're kind of laughing at the back. They got money at the back, haven't they? they got Matty Cash. Matty Cash, you know, freshly announced himself as playing for Poland
he's
last year.
freshly naturalized as a Polish citizen now.
Yeah.
Polish passport, Matty Cash. Yeah, but that's just a random one. Man.
Yeah. It's just
That-
like okay, I guess he is Polish.
Like, did he find out like, oh, my mom's Polish? Like, what?
Yeah.
Let me just get the opportunity. Like, my mom's Polish now. Like, I think Matty, like, do you think in team meetings there's like a translator there? Because I know that guy speaks
yeah,
like
surely he hasn't got a lot
basic
of Polish.
Polish.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's got much knocking around.
No.
I reckon. Well, Bednarek is also at
Yes,
Villa,
yeah.
and I reckon he just sort of translates for him.
Yeah,
basically.
probably. That's a
Probably that.
perfect link on FIFA right there.
Yeah, green lines all over
Exactly.
the place.
Oh, I think my food is here. So, over to you, Jeff.
How you doing, brother? Good?
Yeah, how about you?
I'm good, I'm good. I wanted to ask you, do you think Messi's the best player in the world?
I think the best is yet to come because in his generation, Ronaldo was competing him, but I think someone is greater than Messi coming because there will be no competition there. So I don't think Messi or Ronaldo is, none of them is the best.
Oh, cool. Oh, different one. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much, my brother. Appreciate
Bye,
it.
man.
I can't believe it.
Answered. Oh my
I
God,
can't
he's
believe it.
answered.
He's
Oh my
answered.
God.
Come on.
Come on.
Jeff actually answered.
He did. We actually finally got an answer. We got someone who was happy to speak a bit about football.
You know what? He basically said that you can't really call anyone the best because like their generation is ending and we got new guys coming up. But
He basically said it's endless and there'll never be a best player ever because there'll always be someone else.
what
But
guy,
what a guy, man.
that is not the best player is actually Matty Cash. So let's just go back to chatting about that guy because like, yeah, Matty Cash is all right. He's decent.
Yeah, he's not bad. But there's a lot of right backs in England, so I understand his decision.
Yeah, Bednarek, and they actually have a player that plays for Roma. I need to actually get his name
And
right.
they actually have a player who scored a scorpion kick yesterday for Birmingham.
Wow.
I've forgotten his name, but he did score. He scored a scorpion
Birmingham?
kick. Yeah, for Birmingham in the Championship.
They played yesterday?
Yeah.
I thought they
or
played on Friday.
Friday, rather. It's called a
No.
scorpion kick.
No, that's the guy I was telling you about, Austin Trusty.
Oh, that is him. Oh,
That's
okay.
he's American.
Right, the one that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
I swear I looked it up and he's Polish.
Maybe you're talking about Bielik. He plays.
I might be
for-
talking about Bielik.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Okay,
But
we're getting confused, but yeah, they've got.
his name is Zalewski. He is
Okay.
a wingback, 20 years old, plays for Roma. He's like one of them players that like rotation players comes
Mm-hmm.
off the bench. He's okay. He's 20 years old. So I
learning
can't
from
really,
Mourinho.
yeah, I can't really start an agenda on a 20-year-old. But yeah, you
But
know,
he's shit. Is that what we're saying?
no, I actually don't want the population of Poland to come for me. Poland, I love you guys. If you want to sponsor me for anything, I'm there. So, yeah, I think Poland, they have a good team, but me personally, they're just not going to challenge the. Like, Argentina are very clear in this group. They are.
Oh, heads and shoulders above everyone. I think they'll get 9 points. To be honest.
Yeah. I
Yeah, they
think
got Chesney. Chesney's a decent keeper.
Chesney, you got West Ham's finest, West Ham's legend, Fabianski.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like.
To Arsenal.
Yeah, two Arsenal. I think Chesney's dreadful now, to be honest.
I mean, Juve aren't.
Yeah.
Allegri's got everyone in chains.
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of Juve fans. They want Chesney gone. They want
Really?
the backup keeper Perrin to start.
Buffon's still selling his soul to play more football.
I can't believe it.
Mate,
But,
he's still playing. Like who does he owe money to?
I
What's
don't
going
know.
on with
I actually don't
Buffon?
know. Buffon, they just wheel him out. He's like moving like the
There was
Undertaker
that
right
year where
now.
he went to PSG. I thought, why have you done this? And then he just went back to Juve. It was like,
Just so random.
yeah,
So it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, Poland, I'm not sure if they're gonna do anything so like that well in this World Cup.
okay.
But yeah, but if we're speaking about this group, we have to obviously move on to the
Yeah.
perennial team that always gets knocked out in the round of 16.
The home of Rey Mysterio.
Booyaka, booyaka, it is
Yeah.
Mexico.
As far as keepers go, there is an iconic World Cup keeper here. We got Ochoa, because I don't even know if he's going to be starting for Mexico in goal, but every World Cup we see this guy. I'm like, wow, he's amazing. Does he play club football? Is it just
I have never seen that guy play a game of club football.
no?
I've only seen him play for Mexico. I think that's like one of the World Cup's conspiracies.
Yeah.
Like him.
He doesn't play football. He just rocks up at the World Cup in his class.
Exactly. I think, yeah, Ochoa in that 2014 World Cup was actually. Is it true that he has 6 fingers, or was that like a myth?
I think he is a myth in himself. He's just sort of this
No,
fictional
like,
character.
I remember seeing a glove. It had like an extra finger.
Maybe I'm not
Like
sure.
it was something crazy like that. I just feel like Ochoa. He's one of them guys that.
Actually, I think I do know this.
Yeah.
So his name, it derives from. I mean, in Spanish, Ocho is 8. He has 8 fingers. He has 8 fingers per hand. That's
okay.
why he's so amazing with his hands.
What that is actually very good.
Yeah, no, that's what I've read.
Okay, fair enough. I just feel like Ochoa. He's one of them guys. You wheel him out. Another guy like the Undertaker for special occasions, and he's there. Like,
Yeah,
I
the
know
streak isn't over. He'll be at this World Cup.
he will be there. But speaking about streak, you know the only guy to play in 5 World Cups. You know his name?
No. 5 World Cups. Is it Marquez?
Yes, Rafael Marquez.
Barca legend.
Yes, he's
a
actually
Barca
coming
man.
back to play in this World Cup.
No, he's
I lied.
not.
I got you there, though.
Imagine,
I got
yeah.
you there. But yeah, Rafael Marquez, he's one of them guys that, you know, he was actually a top
Football
player.
icon, man. Yeah, he was
was
class.
a
Him and
top
Puyol
player.
were very good in those Barca teams.
Yeah, we speak about other football icons. We got Javier Hernandez.
Yeah, it looks like-
Chicharito.
Looks like he might not be at the World Cup, which would be a shame.
Why not?
It seems like they're going with Jimenez. From what I've read, they seem to prefer Jimenez at the moment, which I'm not going to lie, this isn't the same Jimenez that arrived in the Premier League. He looked awesome.
he
That
was-
injury's such a shame.
Yeah, that injury, it was just so bleak, that moment, because I remember it was during lockdown. It was against Arsenal. Arsenal were horrible that time. David Luiz headbutted him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was such a good striker. Like, such a good nose for goals, nose for getting in the right places for those chances. And he just looks a shell of his former self, doesn't he? He needs to whack that thing off, but at the same
Yeah.
time, you can't really do it because it was a horrendous injury. But there are some exciting players within Mexico. You've got Lozano, who's obviously a
Yes.
part of that Napoli side.
You also have a right back that plays for Ajax. You have Edson
got Edson
Alvarez.
yeah.
Nearly came to Chelsea.
He did. He's quite a simple 6, just does the basics well, but
Yeah, you can't.
I'm
go
not.
wrong with
I
him.
have to admit, yeah, I looked at that with us linked to him, and I thought, "Fucking hell, are we really
50
are we going to
million
go
as well.
0 for 7 in this
You're gonna
window?"
pay 50 million for him.
And, oh God, mate,
I think we should just stop buying players from Ajax.
I think Chelsea should stop buying players.
I think just Chelsea should just
Yeah.
fold.
We almost did, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a good point. You do have a point. You do have a point. Yeah, and you also they also have a player that plays for Chivas.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ernesto Vega. And that's
like
the
it,
Vega.
I like
That was my
it.
Spanish accent. Was that all right?
Yeah, there's a bit of spice to that. It was good.
Yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good. But yeah, he's a player that plays for Guadalajara. I'm ill, guys, my bad. But he's actually having a good season so far. I think he's got 3 goals, 4 assists. His rating on like SofaScore and stuff, it's actually very good. Haven't watched a minute of this guy, but I watched.
The stats don't lie sometimes.
Exactly. I don't need to watch someone. All I need to go is just see their SofaScore. I know they're a top player. But yeah, Mexico. What do you think about their chances? Because for me, they're always like they'll get to the round of 16. Because the 2018 World Cup, they were in Germany's group. If you remember,
They beat them.
yeah, that was a crazy,
That was a great opening game to that World
that was
Cup.
a crazy group. I think they finished. Did they finish top or second? Because I know Sweden were there as well.
Well, it was South Korea, wasn't it? It was South Korea, Sweden,
finished
and
third.
Germany. Yeah,
Yeah, I know Germany. Okay,
I know Germany went out.
Yes, I think Sweden were top. Yeah, Sweden top, Mexico second. Mexico second.
Yeah, I mean, this actually leads to my Avit, to be honest.
Perfect. So, what is your Avit?
Like Sunday League left backs, no room for nonsense, only Marmite.
These are our podcast's most outrageous takes without trying to be cancelled. Hey man, ASMR on the Bottle Job podcast. Nah, I can't do this though. This is mad weird. No, I can't do this though.
People make a living off of
Yeah,
ASMR.
bro,
though,
it's
man.
so
we need to
weird.
tap into this market.
We need to tap into it. Oh
Football's
my
not where it's at. It's ASMR.
Facts.
Mukbangs. We need to order like a big squid.
Facts. All right, Toby, what is your Avit? Your
So my
controversial
Avit take, as we touched on Mexico there, we're not overly impressed with what we see, but they have a run of 8 consecutive World Cups reaching the final 16. It's ending. Poland are going to come second, and that is why it's a bit controversial. Not because when you look at their team, you don't think it's overly filled with quality, but they have a knack for getting past the group stage, and I'm saying they're not going to do that. Mexico are a team esteemed in history in the World Cup. I think I read only Argentina, Brazil, France, and Italy have more World Cup qualifications than them.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm going to say they're going to get dumped out in the groups because I think Poland are going to come second.
You think so?
I do.
That's your Avit section?
Yeah.
My Avit section, Argentina will lose to one of the teams. I think Argentina are so good, but they will struggle against the mighty Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia's defense. Like, did you know that actually Saudi Arabia, they finished above Japan in the qualification for the World Cup? You didn't know that?
I didn't even know that.
I think Argentina are going to struggle against Saudi Arabia. Messi is the greatest player of all time, but Messi cannot find a way against the mighty defense of Saudi Arabia and Mohammed bin Salman, because he's the crown prince of Saudi Arabia and Messi's doing nothing that game. All right, that should be good for TikTok.
Yeah, that's a bold one.
That's a TikTok right there. But yeah, all right, Toby. So if you were to like rank your groups from 4 to 1, how would you do it?
I would say fourth. I'm going to go with Saudi. I think Saudi Arabia are going to come fourth. I just don't think there's enough goals in that side. Like you said, I know they struggled a bit for goals with their World Cup qualifiers. It's a different level of opposition here. I think Poland are going to be quite a tough team. I think they've got just enough to get ahead of Mexico in that group. I think that game will basically determine who comes second, who comes third. Because I think Argentina will win all their games. I think they'll come first, and maybe they'll win the whole thing. And I think he deserves that. It'd be nice.
I agree with that. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Saudi 4, Poland 3,
Okay.
Mexico 2, because Mexico, they always...
The history.
It's the history of the Mexico. And number 1, Argentina.
Nice.
But this is the section of the show that we like to call 20-second vision.
This is the part where we predict a fixture's future with the imagination of De Bruyne and the precision of Heskey.
What will the future hold with 20-second vision?
For you, I'm going to say, what is your 20-second vision for Argentina's World Cup?
You forgot the button.
I have forgotten the button. I've forgotten when the key.
Forgot the button, mate. You got to do that again.
I'm getting sacked in the morning.
Oh, fairs. All right. So, ask me again.
Sure. Okay, so your 20-second vision is, what do you think will happen to Argentina this World Cup?
Argentina are winning the World Cup. They are going to beat every single team in front of them, apart from Saudi Arabia, because they have a little shock in them. But Messi's going to carry Argentina to the World Cup. I feel that Messi has been unbelievable this season, and you can't stop the GOAT. Messi is the greatest player of all time, and with players that love to support him, Messi is going to take Argentina to the promised land.
I hope that vision comes true, man.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I really do.
No, we want England to win. Don't forget.
If Argentina could play England in the final, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to keep quiet who I want to win.
All right.
No, I am back in England. I'm back in England, guys.
Okay.
Don't cancel me, please.
All right, Toby. What is your 20-second vision on Poland this World Cup? And your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, so I think they're going to get out of their group, but in the last 16, they're going to be playing a game. Lewandowski scores. However, he goes to the corner flag. He does one of his cringy TikTok dances. I don't know what it is. He's pulling out moonwalks. He's doing winks. He's doing all sorts.
Right.
And the ref just says, you need to get out. Red card. And the Polish fans, they start applauding. The players, they start applauding. Everyone's going nuts. They're saying, get him off. I can't watch these dances anymore. I don't know how much you've seen these, man. Honestly, they make me cringe out my skin. I'm seeing this striker. It's partly why I lean more towards Benzo.
Yeah.
I look at this guy, I'm like, I'm sorry, you can be as good as you like. You can't be doing that. It's,
Nah,
it's
man.
dreadful, man.
Let
It's dreadful.
Lewandowski dance. He's a bit. I'll be honest. He's a bit stiff.
I back Vinny. I back all Vinny dancing, all this kind of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
when it's a bit samba. They got some rhythm.
Because it's in their culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I just look at Lewandowski doing winks at the camera. Mate, I can't back it. I
No,
can't back
neither
it.
can I. He was actually the first person I actually followed on TikTok when I made my account.
Really?
I
The
made my
original, the OG.
the first people I followed was Alfonso Davies, and the second one was Robert Lewandowski. Because locked out, I couldn't wait to see a new Robert Lewandowski dance. Who with it? Who?
Oh god, it's so bad. It's the wink.
Oh, it was so-
If you haven't seen it,
That was so
actually,
bad.
I don't blame you for not seeing
Brand
it.
new Lamborghini. I remember it. I remember it. But yeah,
Yeah, I hope
that,
they send him off if he does anything.
yeah, it's true. But that was our 20-second vision. But time to wrap up on the show. Thank you guys for listening. I've been Remedy.
I've been Toby.
Let us know what you think is going to happen in Group C of the World Cup. Are Argentina going to win?
Is the GOAT going to confirm that status with that World Cup?
Exactly. So follow us on all social platforms. Leave us the bell on YouTube. Is it the bell?
Turn those bells on.
That's the-
Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening.